So remember, especially for beginners, for new enrollees, our topics are conducted here at the branch live and also simultaneously done via Zoom. So if just in case you do not have any means to attend either Zoom or lecture class here at the branch, we will also be uploading this exact same thing, whatever it is that's happening here right about now, will be uploaded on my YouTube channel. I'm also going to post the link of the video itself plus the handout. So everything that you will see on the screen is converted already on a PDF. So it's already uploaded in my Google Drive, which link I will be including together with the video replay, both on our Facebook group and Discord. So I hope there's no way for you to miss anything. So topic today is reading skills enhancement, otherwise known as your major. Whenever you encounter any lecture with skills enhancement, please either you attend it in person, you go attend via Zoom, or you watch the replay later during the day, since any skills enhancement lesson is a major lecture. So basically, to separate the distinctions, for you to understand the distinctions between classes, yes, we have vocabulary lessons, we have grammar topics, we have common mistakes, we have mock exams, we have pronunciation, we have all those minor supplemental lectures. I'm not saying they are not important. I'm trying to tell you that skills enhancement lectures are way, way more important. When it comes to their weight, it's much heavier. It's going to be much more impactful in your journey preparing yourself for this examination. So, once again, just some tips. Kung may skills enhancement, again, tatagalugin ko na to attendan nyo. Hindi ko ma-attendan, may Zoom. Hindi ko ma-attendan yung Zoom, may replay. Okay? So, oftentimes, my wife and I will be going to SM. May lalapit sa akin estudyante, sasabihin, "Sir, thank you po kasi tulungan niyo po kami pumasa. Sino ka bang hayop ka?" Sabihin ko sa kanya. So, nun pala, hindi siya nagpakita at all. No? Nanood lang siya ng mga replay during the latter part of the day. Once every after it is available. At yun lang ginagawa niya for the review. So, once again, iba-iba kasi tayo ng learning curve. Merong natututo na pumupunta dito sa branch, merong okay na sa Zoom, merong okay na sa replay. So whatever works best for you, no? Stick to it. Yun lang naman ang gusto naming i-remind. So once again, reading, what happened? Yan. Let me ask you, Zoom attendees, can you see my screen? Like, are you seeing my screen right now that says reading subtest overview? Second test in the written component of the exam. Are you guys seeing this? Just let me know if you can't see my screen, ha? Caroline, Franz, Kathleen, nakikita. Okay, sabi ni Caroline, nakikita naman daw. Alright. So once again, your examination is actually composed of two components. We have the written side and we have the interview. The interview part is your speaking test. Again, you will be asked questions, you have to answer them, and based on how well you answered, the examiner will give you a score based on your performance. Now, your speaking interview will be conducted during the afternoon of your examination date. In the past, since yung volume ng test takers, kayang i-cater kasi 60 at once no? So imagine if each student will have 20 to 30 minutes each. Not to mention yung time for preparation. So talagang matagal. Inaabot po ng 3 araw ang exam. Before so imagine, tomorrow is March 21, tama ba? March 21st tomorrow. tomorrow is the examination. Example lang, today could be my speaking test. May instance pa ng exam na listening, reading, writing is naganap ng Friday, sa dagupan ito. Tuesday ang speaking test. Because nasa more than 80 ang test takers that time. Again ha, gusto ko lang po ipaget sa inyo yung hati ng test. Again, nagtatagalog ako. I'm going out of my ways here. Kasi nga, feeling ko wala nakakaintindi sa akin when I go full English. No? Please lang, kung may tanong po, pakisabi. No? Okay? Listening, reading, writing will be on a fixed date. So for example, I will be booking my test on March 21st. Just an example. So I should expect that my listening, reading, writing will happen in the morning of March 21. In rare occasions, nalalagay din po ito sa hapon. But I haven't seen this happening in the Philippines often. May student ako sa New Zealand, may student ako sa Russia, hapon daw ginaganap ang listening, reading, writing nila. Even in rare cases in the Middle East, they also conduct their listening, reading, writing in the afternoon. Again, sila yon. So, kung ano ang naka-indicate sa email mo, for example, your test says that you have to take your test for listening, reading, writing at 1 o'clock, then that means your test is at 1 o'clock. Ganun lang siyang kasimple. So, disregarding the speaking test. Because once again, people, we will be learning every single thing about them throughout your stay here. So yung speaking, sa ibang araw natin pag-uusapan yan. Let's focus on the reading side. So reading is the second test in the written exam. So when I say written, I don't specifically mean that your exam must be written via pen and paper. Because in the past, the only way for you to take the examination is via pen and paper-based test. So meaning, we didn't have the computer-based test yet in the past. The computer-based test only rolled out somewhere around 2020, 2021. Doon lang siya na-introduce. Yung pilot test niyan, 2018 lang. No? So yung computer-based, this is actually pretty new. And you will hear from me today, for the very first time, that the pen and paper-based test will now be obsolete. There will be no more pen and paper-based test starting July 1st. So if you want to take the pen and paper-based exam, you have to do so before July. Ganun lang pong kasimple. So again, aalisin na po siya. They found this counterintuitive because mas mabilis ang processing ng results kapag computer-based. Computer-based test result will be out in as fast as 24 hours versus yung pen and paper-based na 15 days. So if you will be asking us, why does the pen and paper-based examination results need more time to be checked? Well, the thing is simple. All those answer sheets will be collected. They will be put in a safe. They will be submitted. Kung IDP ka nag-exam sa Australia, papadala. Ship yan. So, ang barko, hindi naman yan mabilis, di ba? It will take days. Kapag naman ito ay sa British Council, sa Canada pa yan ipinapadala. So, if you can understand the scenario, this is a battle between how long will your paper travel here in the Philippines to the destination country, and by the time they will check your work, they have to submit to return it to the Philippines before you get the results. So that's why we have 15 days lead time for the results to be out. Ang laking gastos nun no? So they have to shoulder the shipping costs and everything. That's one of the primary reasons why your examination is actually very expensive. One of the primary reasons, because they have to maintain those sites, checking sites, ano? So bakit pinapadala pa po sila sa ibang bansa? Well guys, sa Pilipinas tayo. Pag nalaman nyo kung saan yung chine-check yung score, pupuntahan niya ng mga wala nang pag-asa sa exam. Pare, puta, hindi na talaga ako papasa. Puntahan natin to. Dito lang pala yan sa Timog eh. Sige, hijackin natin. Di ba? Kinidnap yung mga examiner, tinutukan ng baril. Nasa Pilipinas tayo, ganun ang mga ugali ng Pinoy. We're barbaric, no? So, kaya nakatago po yan sa iba't ibang bahagi ng bansa. Okay, takot po sila kasi sa mga Pilipino. Totoo po yan. That's why, when also you will be taking your examination, kahit computer-based pa yan, napakahigpit ng security kahit dito sa amin. Bawal magdala ng bag, meron tayong metal detectors, kakapkapang kayo, no? So, yun yung mga test-taking means in the past. But once again, to lessen the storytelling, and let's go back to the topic, the written examination, the computer-based examination, the pen and paper-based examination, that's how they differ. And if you really want to take the pen and paper-based examination, you have to do so before July. Dahil pag August ka pa mag-exam, wala na po talagang exam at all. I don't know if they still have available way to take the test for pen and paper-based in other countries. But as far as I know, in the Philippines, this will be obsolete na. End of an era, ika nga. Nakakalungkot kasi nga, when I first started teaching this, we don't have the computer-based test eh. So, when I impart discussions to my students, I always make sure that their abilities, the ones that they will gain, is aligned with how to take the test via pen and paper means. And not for computer-based version. No? So, ngayon, babaguhin natin yan totally. So, what you need to know is that your listening, reading, and writing will happen one after the other. So, your listening test will be conducted today, for example, at 9 o'clock. It will start at 9 o'clock sharp. It will be finished by 9:32. So, afterwards, your reading test will begin right away. So, from 9:32 to 10:32, since it will last for an hour, then your writing is from 10:32 to 11:32. That is how your written component works. Once again, I will say written despite you taking the examination via computer delivered. Okay po? Okay, so when I say written, ulitin ko lang ha, I pertain to the 3 tests. Listening, reading, writing. Not just for the writing test itself. It's for the listening test happening at 9 to 9:32, reading happening from 9:32 to 10:32, writing happening from 10:32 to 11:32. That is what I mean. Okay? So, what importance, what significance does this information have for test takers like you? Well, you have to build your stamina, or what we call the so-called test-taking strategies. Alright? Because imagine, you have to subject yourself to a grueling, almost 3-hour test. Question is, are you prepared both physically and mentally? That's the first question. Kahit po ang difficulty level ng exam, imagine kung volume ito nakasagad sa max, ilagay natin sa minimum yung difficulty. Kahit may minimum ang difficulty level, it's on the easy side. If you are not prepared enough to last for a 2.5-hour long exam, hindi ka papasa. Ganun kasimple. Di ba? So, the no break after the listening subtest bears a lot of significance to test takers like you, since you will be subjecting yourself in an almost 3-hour long exam where there's so much pressure. No? Kailangan ipasa ko to. Kasi kung hindi, babagsak ako, hindi matutupad ang pangarap ko makapag-ibang bansa. Alam niyo yun, it will be a factor for you to falter. That's why we have to prepare yourself, not just physically, but mentally, also emotionally will be considered here. So, this is your reading test. Remember, if you take the test via pen and paper based means, the listening and reading answer sheets are very identical. They share the same page. Back to back lang po yan. Once again, ulitin ko lang, kung pen and paper po, may answer sheet. Kung computer-based, wala po. Because you have your virtual answer sheet uploaded directly on the computer server. Yan. So, what is the difference between academic and general training? So, what is the main difference between the two? Well, for starters, if your test is on the academic component, you are on a much more difficult scale. Why? Well, the thing is simple. When you compare the two tests, academic test takers, they are taking this test because they want to secure either professional work or professional study. So meaning, this is more on a more professional side of the spectrum. Whereas for general training, with the key term, general, this is aimed for the general population. More people are supposed to understand. Hence, it's referred to as general. Sa madaling sabi, mga academic, ginagamit po ito sa pag-aaral o professional na pagtatrabaho. Kaya po mas mahirap siya because inclined siya towards study. Whereas for general training, it is more inclined towards the general population. So ito po kasi mga nag-a-apply ng express entry sa Canada, provincial nominee program, ano pa, spouse visa, fiancé visa, sana all, no? Ano pa? Sa immigration visa, yan, mga pinitisyon ng nanay, kinuha ng kapatid, no? So, sa general training po siya papasok. Or also, mga skilled work. So, mga meat cutters, butchers, machine operators, forklift drivers, fruit pickers, andyan na yan, no? That's why, for academic, it's more difficult, whereas for GT, it's easier. For academic, you have 3 long passages. For GT, you have 6 more divided passages. So, sir, lugi naman ata kami mga GT. Sabi mo, sir, mas madali. Bakit 6 yung passage na meron sa amin? Well, you will be thankful why 6 yung passages mo because this is more divided, meaning it is going to be easier for you to crunch the content. But if you're going to get the total number of words, academic sits somewhere between 2,700 and 3,600 words. Whereas GT, despite having more passages, will produce the same number of words. Parehas lang sila. So sa madaling sabi, same content, mas hati-hati lang po si GT. Now, longer passages for academic, shorter passages for GT. Now, here's the catch. Here's the catch. Both examinations, you have to answer 40 items. So, for GT, you have to also answer 40 items. For academic, you also have to answer 40 items. But, getting 30 out of 40 in the academic side gives you a band 7 already. And a band 7 is what many students prefer, at least a band 7, because this will secure their visa, their professional working visa or student visa application. Good sa sila dyan. Whereas kung GT ka, getting 30 is not equivalent to 7. Since ang 7 ng GT is 34 out of 40. So, sir, paano kung GT ako, nakakuha lang ako ng 30? Ang equivalent nun ay 6 lang. Okay po? Gets yan? Okay. So, ulitin natin ha. Academic is more difficult, but you only have to get fewer points to get you a band 7. Whereas for GT, it's easier, yet you have to secure 34 points for you to get a band 7 in the examination. But people, if you will ask me, if you will be asking me right now, right here, which test do I prefer? I will tell you honestly that GT is my shit. Why? It's much easier. Regardless of whether it asks you to rate up more points than academic, mas kaya mo kumuha ng puntos kay GT. Kasi, ang content niyan, general population level. It's like comparing an elementary grade English storytelling to a college level research paper. Ganun ang diferensya niya. Kaya naman, if you're academic, I have some bad news for you, your test is more difficult. But for GT, I have some good news, your test is easier. The problem for GT is that even though your test is easier, you have to secure more points for a higher band score. That is the exchange. Yun yung kapalit. Whereas the similarities, both tests will last for an hour. Remember, no extra time is provided after the hour allotted for the test. Sa listening exam kasi, kung ito ay computer-based, you are given 2 minutes to check. Kung ito ay pen and paper-based, you are given 10 minutes to transfer. Listening to ha, listening. So this is not listening, this is reading, this is a whole different kind of exam. So you have to finish the test in 60 minutes. Meaning, you need to be able to secure all 40 items before the time expires. Otherwise, kung ngayon ka pala magsasalin, I'm sorry, Mr. Invigilator, can I transfer all my answers? No, unfortunately. Submitted na yan agad. Blanco ang papel mo. So, you always have to follow the process. Ano? So, no extra time is provided. Different test-taking strategy from the other exams, and test-taking stamina could be depleted here. Remember, reading is an examination that many people are getting caught off guard lately. Okay? May estudyante ko, recently nakakuha ng 7.5 sa speaking, nakakuha ng 5.5 sa reading. Yung classmate ko ng college, 8 ang speaking, 5 lang sa reading. Supposedly, speaking is much more difficult sana. So how come that people are getting caught off guard with the reading test? It's because they are not prepared for it. So sir, ano nangyari dun sa kaklase mo ng college na naka-speaking na 8? Tapos reading niya, 5 lang. Bumagsak po ba siya? Well, hindi. Kasi ang pupuntahan niya Amerika eh. So, sa US kasi, if you want to be a USRN, if you're a USRN, you want to practice your profession, nursing profession in the US, ang minimum dyan kasi is 7 speaking at overall band score na 6.5. So, pasok naman yon kahit nga yung reading niya ay 4 pa, basta pasok yung OBS at saka speaking, which is pasok naman, nasa US na siya. Okay? So, test-taking stamina could be depleted here. That's why you have to manage your time carefully. What is the difference between the computerized exam? Well, in the computerized exam, you now have the ability to highlight the sentences from the passage by left-clicking and dragging. And this allows you to easily compare and contrast answers and the passage. And the referencing is way, way, way easier. No? It's such an improvement of the quality of life. So before we continue, I will be sharing. So another would be the importance of mock exams because, as I've mentioned, this is the UI. This is the exact same thing you will see, no? In your test. This is it. Wala pong pinagkaiba. The appearance, the timer, above, ito yung timer. Yan. The candidate number, the settings, the help, the hide options, the number of items here below. Yan na yan po yung makikita nyo. And 9.09er, our company is really into this goal to send as many Filipinos as we can abroad. That is why we want to make your practices easier. So what we did is that our CEO spent roughly 400,000 pesos just to make a software copying the exact same UI of the test. Guys, this is your mock examination. We spent this amount just to imitate the feeling, just to copy the feels of it, everything, so that by the time you take your test, there will be no more adjustments. Now, hey, why is this thing different? Why is this placed here? Something like that. So our CEO spent almost 500,000 pesos just to copy this, to make a software, and to upload this in the website, in our website. Now, Cabanatuan City is a testing center. You can take your exams here. Pampanga is also a testing center. You can take your exams there if you want. We have examination centers across the Philippines, scattered across the Philippines. May Zamboanga tayo, may Cebu, meron ka Iloilo, may Bacolod, may Tacloban ka, meron tayong Tugigaraw, no? So once again, if you want to take your exams there, so be it. Now, here's the thing. For Cabanatuan test takers, for our students, no, who wish to experience the test the same way how it will happen, we conduct mock examinations every Tuesdays and Thursdays. Yan. From 9 o'clock until 1 p.m. So bakit 9? Anong oras ba exam mo? 9. Again ha, we're trying to capture the same environment, the same concept. We want to emulate everything down to the last detail. And that is the reason why our lectures start at 9. Our practices begin at 9. Kasi nga, ang exam mo, 9 ginaganap. So gusto namin, nagkaklase kayo dito, alam niyo yan, buhay kayo ng 9. Kasi nga, ang exam mo, 9. Alright? That's why you also do the mock at 9. And we don't do that at night. Nagets niyo yun? Because you will not be able to capture the same feeling. Diba? Oh. Eh sir, paano yun? Nagtatrabaho ko eh. Ha? Tangin na mo eh. Eh, pasok ako eh. Paano ako? Diba? Again, we want every single one of you to be able to pass the test, to be able to experience mock. That is why you can also do it at home. Okay? Gets nyo yan? Pwede mo rin itong gawin sa bahay. Pero gusto nyo bang imaginein to? Gusto nyo bang imaginein? Gaano kalapit yung scenario na kunwari nagtitake ka ng exam na nasa bahay ka versus nagpa-practice ka mag-take ng exam dito sa lugar kung saan ka din mismo magtitake ng exam. Nagigets nyo yung punto? Okay. Para tong driving lessons eh. Bumili ka ng sasakyan, ang sasakyan mo Ford Raptor. Okay? Raptor. Tapos doon sa driving school, ang pinapag-drive sa'yo, Hyundai Ion. O kaya yung bago ngayon, yung V6 na electric vehicle, yung maliit. Pagdating mo sa bahay, nagsanay ka doon sa maliit na car, pag uwi mo, tinesting mo yung Raptor mo, iba yung pakiramdam. Kasi SUV yung pick up yun eh. Ang lapad nun eh. Diba? Nagigets mo yung punto? So kaya nga ini-invite kita kung meron kang panahon, kung meron kang pagkakataon na makapunta, hindi po ito sa pilitan. Ha? Pumunta ka. Kung hindi, practice ka sa bahay, wala tayong ibang solusyon. Nakuha? Okay. Kasi mas okay nang mag-practice ka sa bahay kaysa wala. Mas okay na mag-practice ka sa Hyundai Ion kaysa naman mag-practice ka gamit sa cellphone. Tama ba? Oh. So that is the reason why we conduct mock exams. Because we want you to experience the entire examination, how it will be before your test occurs. We're trying to emulate the test. So that, nakakuha ka sa exam, uy, ang listening ko 6, ang reading ko 5. Okay, first mock exam na yun. Pucha, bagsak yun eh. Kasi ang kailangan ko, listening 7, reading 7. Pupunta kasi ako ng UK. So, anong gagawin mo ngayon? Pumasok ka ng klase. Umattend ka ng lecture. Mag-practice ka, mag-mock. Kasi may estudyante ko na nag-start, ang listening niya 6, ang reading niya 5, ang speaking niya sa akin 4. Nakuha niya sa exam, listening 9, reading niya 9, speaking niya 9. Oh. Hindi po ibig sabihin na first time mo nag-take nun, yun na ang makukuha mong resulta. We're just trying to let you experience it kasi, oo nga, mahirap pala. Ano ba yung mga naging pagkakamali ko? So that we can learn from those errors, hopefully. So by the time that we're able to practice your mock like 10 times already, batak na batak ka na mag-mock. Pagdating ng exam, madaling-madali na lang sa'yo. Kakaintindihan? Okay. So, let us continue. Important skill in reading is none other than taking down notes if you're taking the pen and paper based, or highlighting if you will be taking the computer based. Other referencing techniques are also needed. Magamit tayo ng mga context clues na tinuturo sa Vocab 1 ni Ma'am Shannon. So example, these are the words from the question. The respiratory system functions as switch gases between the lungs and the outside surroundings, while your passage states the main responsibility of the respiratory system is to exchange substances between the body's respiratory organs and the external surroundings. Well, quite probably you will be noticing that the words are different. But what didn't change is the meaning. Both statements claim that kung tatagalugin mo yan, ang respiratory system, pagpapalitin niya yung gas o substance man yan from the lungs sa labas. So, that's how you can understand context much more easily. So, we have different types of questions, some of which more difficult than others. We have summary completion, which is one of the most difficult to deliver because the goal here is for you to read the entire paragraph, which is very counterintuitive because if you read the entire thing, you will be having a rough time finishing the test. No? So, sir, are you trying to tell me that in the reading test, I shouldn't read? Well, I'm not trying to tell you that you should not read. All I'm trying to say is that you have to select areas where you have to read it. Kasi 3,600 words to 2,700 to 3,600 words would really be a tall order. No? Matching headings sa paragraphs would also be a very critical type of question. And identifying writer's views, whether it's true, false, or not given. So I have a lot of practices here later. Multiple choice selecting factors, yung mga yan, madadali lang to. But your test, sabi nga nung iba, sir, ang daming lumabas na true, false, not given. Ibig sabihin nun, mahirap ang exam. If you encounter fewer true, false, not given, it means the exam is easier. So, let's hope and pray that your test will be having few true, false, not given. But regardless, if you are prepared how to deal with them properly, then kayang-kaya. So, now, 3 easy steps. In the test, we read the questions first. Actually, if you can, read the instructions first. Like, ano hinihingi ng instruction? Kailangan lang mo bang mag-click? Kailangan mo bang mag-drag and drop? Kailangan mo bang i-type literally yung answer? And then, read the passage where you have to scan the keywords you have identified in the question. And then, as soon as you get the answer, write them down already. Type them, click them, ilagay mo na agad yung sagot. Because there are no extra time given. Correct? Okay. Now, matching headings to paragraphs. One of the most difficult type of exams to be delivered. Bakit ko sinabi na mas madali kung may 7 paragraph and 7 headings ka? Well, matchy-matchy lang yan. No? Yan. Match-match lang. So, example, sagot mo sa 1, paragraph B. Sagot mo sa 2, G. 3A, 4E, 5C, 6D, 7F. Ganun lang. Kakaintindihan? Eh, what if 10 yung headings? May H ka na, may I ka pa, may J ka pa. So, etong tatlo na to, pwedeng makalito doon kasi etong H, kamukha niya halos yung B. So, pwede consider mo si 1, ang sagot mo ay H. Eh, ang sagot pala dyan ay B. Diba? So, may isa ka ng incorrect na point. Tapos sa 2, ang sagot mo ay I. Eh, ang sagot mo dapat ay A. Kasi nalito ka sa content eh. Dalawa na agad yung mistake mo. Then sa number 6, instead na D yung sagot mo, J yung kinuha mong answer. So, naging 3 na agad ngayon yung errors mo. Clear? So, the more headings there are, the more likely that you will commit an error. No? So, here's an example passage. Yan, sample passage po ito. So, I just want to clarify that the steps in test taking steps is that we read the question, then passage. Correct po ha? Ulitin ko lang ha. Sa lahat ng type of questions, you do this trick. Question, passage. Question ulit, passage na naman. Except matching headings to paragraphs. Dahil pag binasa mo tong questions or headings, mga options dito, you will be trying to you will be filling in gaps that aren't even present. So, pipilitin mo na itong si 1 ay si B. Nagigets yan? No? And you may miss the last 3 items which are potentially answers. That is why we bend some of the rules here by reading the passage first, then the heading. If, again ha, para lang po ito, nag-iisa lang, sa nag-iisang type of question, which is matching paragraphs, matching headings to paragraphs. Sa madaling sabi po ba, ano po ba ang matching headings to paragraph? Parang choose the best title for the paragraph. Eh, in our case kasi, when we do choose the title, especially Filipinos, ang lazy readers kasi natin eh. Babasahin lang natin yung simula. Halimbawa, this paragraph begins with, in Australia, women were not allowed to vote before 1903. Halimbawa lang, ano? Before 1903. Then, dun sa options nakalagay, women were not allowed to vote in Australia. Yun yung first sentence kasi eh. Ito yung nakalagay. Ulitin ko ha. Nakalagay sa passage. Gawin nating blue para kitang-kita. Nakalagay sa passage. In Australia, gawa-gawa ko lang to ha. Women were not allowed to vote before 1903. Example lang, ha? Example lang po yan. Tapos, nakalagay pala sa heading, for example, letter C. Women were not allowed to vote in Australia. Yan. So, pinili mo agad si C. Kasi bungad na bungad ng passage, in Australia, women were not allowed to vote before 1903. Tama ba? Pero, pag babasahin mo ng buo yung passage, meron pala siyang plot twist nasa dulo. However, it was changed, and Australia became one of the countries who pioneered suffrage or allowing women to vote. So dapat ang sagot pala dyan, Australia being the first country, one of the first countries to allow women to vote, which is yung nasa letter E. Hindi mo siya sinagot kasi nga akala mo sa umpisa nandun na agad yung heading. So you have to read the entire content of the paragraph. So kung babasahin ko to, back in the 1950s, anthropologist Edward T. Hall described how the social rules of time are like silent language for a given culture. It describes how variations in the perception of time can lead to misunderstandings between people from separate cultures. An ambassador has been kept waiting by a foreign visitor needs to understand that if his visitor just mutters an apology, this is not necessarily an insult. Hall wrote, you must know the social rules of time, of the country, rather, at what point apologies are really due. So now, you were able to identify that in this paragraph, the words social, rules, culture, rules, misunderstandings, culture, is very heavily saturated within. So now, basing on those keywords, is this paragraph B about time and technological development? No. Is this paragraph about a problem for those researching attitudes to time? No. There was a mention about research by Edward Hall, no? But it isn't about him encountering attitudes to time. Learning the laws of time for intercultural understanding. Well, laws can be translated as rules. Intercultural understandings is what's being highlighted here. So I might consider 3. I will actually consider it as an answer. So, tuloy natin. Time and individual psychology ba? Hindi. Comparing the value of time, hindi rin. Research and conclusions. Hindi naman to about the speed, hindi naman to pabilisan. History of time measurement. Kung history of time measurement yan, gumagamit ng sundial, gumagamit ng stars, sunrise and sunset, kung anong oras na. Attitudes to time and authority, cross-cultural relationship. I might consider number 8, but later I will show you number 8, kung saan siya ilalagay na answer. So right now, I'm choosing between 3 and 8. But it's not about authority, since this ambassador is not being used as an authoritative figure. It's being used as an example when people do not follow the laws or rules of time. Therefore, I will still stick to Roman numeral number 3. Ganun po ang pagsagot sa matching paragraph headings, kaya po napaka-time-consuming part ng exam yan. Nagtatagal po talaga kayo dyan. Continue. Social psychologist Robert V. Levine says, one of the beauties of studying time is that it's a wonderful window on culture. Pucha, culture na naman. You get answers on what cultures na naman value and believe in. Levine and his colleagues have conducted so-called pace of life studies in 31 countries. In the Geography of Time, published in 1997, Levine describes how he ranked the countries by measuring 3 things. Walking speed on urban sidewalks, how quickly postal clerks fulfill a request for a common stamp, and the accuracy of public clocks. From data collected, he concluded that may 5 fast-paced countries at may 5 slowest countries. Now, ito ba ay time and technological development? No. Problem for those researching attitude time? Research to sa time, pero hindi tungkol sa attitude. Learning the laws of time for intercultural understanding, where this is intercultural, but doesn't have to do with law. It has something to do with geography. Iba't ibang lugar kasi ito. Time and individual psychology? No, not time and individual psychology. It's time in relation to geology, no? Oh, geography, rather. Comparing the value of time for different groups of workers. Well, kinumpare yung value of time dito, pero hindi ng group of workers. Kasi isang worker lang eh, postal clerks. Dapat pinag-compare na paano ba i-value ng doctor, ng lawyer, ang time niya versus sa isang tambay. Parang ganon. Research and conclusions on the speed different nationalities live at. Wait a minute. This is about research. At may conclusion din siya. Kasi sabi niya, from the data he collected, he concluded na meron tayong fast-paced at slow-paced countries. So, my answer here is going to be Roman numeral number 6. Okay, ganun po siya. O yung sinasabi ko kanina, no? Si Kevin Berth, an anthropologist, has examined the time perceptions in Trinidad. In that country, Berth observes, if you are meeting friends at 6 at night, people show up 6:45 at 7 and say, any time is Trinidad time. When it comes to business, however, that loose approach works only for the people with power. Look at the word, with power. A boss can show up late and just say, any time is Trinidad time. But those under him are expected to be on time. Berth adds that the connection between power and waiting time is true for many other cultures as well. So dun papasok yung Roman numeral 8. Kasi nabanggit yung in other cultures, so cross-cultural yan. And then attitude to time and authority kasi nabanggit yung boss as an authoritative figure. So ganun po ang pagsagot ng matching headings to paragraphs. May tanong po sila. Tanong. People na nasa Zoom. Caroline, Franz, Gracia, Kathleen, Mark Anthony, Ryan. May mga tanong po sila. Again ha, if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to drop whatever question you may have dito sa chat. Inuulit ko ha, mamaya we will be asking you to answer. No? Mamaya po, we will be asking you to answer questions sa Zoom. Pag hindi po kayo sumagot ng 3 questions, ikikik ko po kayo sa Zoom. Again, kaya po tayo nag-Zoom meeting, kaya po tayo dito nagkaklase kasi interactive po ang klase, kailangan yung sumagot. At pag hindi ka sumagot, mag-live ka na lang. Ikikik na lang kita sa Zoom. Okay? 3 hits yun ha. Pag hindi ka nakasagot ng 3 beses, ikikik kita sa Zoom. Kaya pag tinatanong ko kayo, magsisagot kayo. Okay? So, true, false, not given. First, let's talk about the history of true, false, not given. Well, in the Philippines, isa to sa mga paborito nating tanong eh. Si true or false. Tama ba? Pag sabi nga na, sir, magpa-quiz ka naman, true or false na lang. Kasi dalawa na yung pagpipilian eh. Pag ganon, 50-50% chance eh. Pwede kang tumama eh. Tama ba? It's 50-50. Mas mataas ang hit rate ng true or false versus sa ABC or D. Kasi pag ABCD, 25% chance of winning. Na? But true, false actually gives you 50% chance. However, with the existence, with the presence of not given, the balance, the equilibrium between true or false is now tilted. May nadagdag kasing player. May new player eh. Kumbaga sa Mario and Luigi, may dumagdag na isa, hindi mo kilala, hindi mo alam yung abilities niya eh. No? So, what are we going to do? So, we have to understand, ano bang difference ng true and false to not given? That's going to give you a key. So, true is actually the easiest to answer. Siya po yung pinakamadali sa kanilang lahat because all you have to do is to compare the components. Compare the components. What do I mean, compare the components? Are they the same? Do they have the general sense of what is being told, what's being mentioned for either? Kung ano ba yung content nung nasa question is same sa content nung nasa passage. So people, we will now move on from matching headings to paragraphs, yung kakaibang rule na uunahin mo muna yung passage bago yung question. Babalik na tayo sa general rule na applicable sa lahat ng types of questions, including true, false, not given, where we look at the question first. Okay po, malinaw tayo dyan ha? In the question it says, in the world today, there are at least 1 million students learning English abroad. And in the passage it says, there are around more than 1 million students studying the English language in another country. Iba-iba man yung salita, pero iisa ang ibig sabihin, ang sagot po dyan ay true. Okay? So once again, si true ang pinakamadali sa kanila. True is actually the easiest among them since true requires you to just compare. And if there is any difference, that's when you will not consider true anymore. Ganun lang po kasimple. May konting discrepancy. There's a very slight discrepancy. You do not consider true anymore. And you will now consider either false or not given. People, if in this particular part of the test, you have 7 items, like 1 to 7, true, false, not given yan. Probability, chances are, hindi lalagpas ng 2 times magiging sagot si true. Kasi siya yung pinakamadali. Remember ha, this is an examination that if you fail as a candidate, means you have to take the test again, means the examiner will get richer. So, mas gustuhin nila na hindi ka makapasa. Kaya may mga panglito sila dyan. Tama ba? Okay, hindi po ito kawang gawa. Ito po ay test. At the more na magte-take ka ng exam, the more na yayaman sila. Okay, do not be victims of such inconveniences. So, true is the easiest among the 3. That's why we do not see it very often as an answer. Hindi ko sinasabing hindi ito pwede maging sagot ha. Sinasabi ko lang na malamang sa malamang, hindi siya madalas mag-appear. Dahil nga, siya yung pinakamadali sa kanila. So, when do we answer false? So, here's the first thing. Na? You read the question. In the world today, there are at least 1 million students learning English abroad. So, greater than 1M. Dito naman, there are no more than 1M. Sabi mo dyan, less than 1M. The first thing you do, the very first thing you do, people listen, the very first thing you do is remove true from the equation. Basta merong maliit na pinagkaiba, no matter how small the difference is, you will no longer consider true. May konting na bago eh. May konting, kumbaga to sa spot the difference. May nakita kang isang difference, di na true to. Ako ha? It's no longer true. It's either false or not given. It's now going to be a battle between false and not given. So yung 33% chance mo na tumama, it's now back to 50-50. Tama po ba? Okay, so the first thing you do in such occasion, may nagkaroon ng maliit na pagkakaiba, remove true from the equation. Now, bakit false? False means inaccuracy. True means accuracy. So, false does not necessarily have to be the opposite of true. Kasi, halimbawa, nilagay mo sa question, Kevin's house is north of Otterbein. Tapos sabi sa passage, Kevin's house is east of Otterbein. Sir, yung north, hindi naman siya opposite ng east eh. Kasi ang opposite ng north ay south. So, it doesn't matter whether north isn't actually the opposite of east. What should matter is that north and east are different entities. They are inaccurate representations of one another. Are you getting the point? North and east are inaccurate representations of one another. They are not equal. So once again, you will be removing true from the equation and you will be balancing the equilibrium now. North isn't east, hence my answer is false. Less than 1M is not greater than 1M, hence my answer is false. Okay? Same with this. Proximity to home versus economic factors. First things first, this is not the same. So remove true from the equation. It's inaccurate, hence it's false. Clear? Nakuha. Guys, may mga practices kayo dito ha, mamaya. Please lang pakiintindi kasi tinitingnan ko kayo para bang nahihilam kayo eh. Hoy, Caroline, Franz, Kathleen, Mark, Anthony, Ryan. Kung meron kayong tanong, pakitanong kasi mamaya ako magtatatanong. Pag hindi kayo nakasagot ng tama dyan, ha, sinasabi ko sa inyo. Okay, ulitin ko lang. Proximity to home, economic factors, they're not the same. That's why it's false. Easy to pick up. Madaling magets. Okay po? Another kind of false, because we have two versions of false. The first version is that it's an inaccurate representation of one another, whereas a false, this kind of false is that there's a missing information. There is now a missing information. What does it mean by missing information? Take a look. Student's name and number is what's being asked by the question. Whereas in the passage, when you looked at the keyword, it says name, course, and number. Now, you will understand there's something missing. What's missing? Course. Course is missing. Okay? Ilan kayo magkakapatid, ma'am? 4. Sabi niya 3 lang daw. Kayo magkakapatid. Tama ba yan? Mali. Exactly. Okay? Are you getting the point? Oh, ang sabi niya dito, may 3 magkakapatid. Tama. Ito yung totoo. Okay? From the source, from the passage. Si name, si course, at saka si number. Ang sabi sa tanong, ang sabi dun sa chismis, 2 lang daw, si name at si number. Nawawala si course. So, why is it false? Bakit po siya false at hindi true at hindi not given? No? Bakit po siya false? Well, here's the explanation. The statement from the question is not entirely, is not absolutely correct or accurate. And if it is not absolutely correct, it only means one thing. The statement is false. Malinaw po. Ngayon, gusto mong mas matandaan siya ng mas madali. Simple lang. Kulang, question, sobra, passage. False. Ganun lang po kasimple. Again ha, sinasabi po natin dito kulang at sobra is yung entity na ini-enumerate. Name, number. Pwede natin palitan ng kulay yan. Yellow, green, blue. Sabi sa passage, yellow, green, blue, purple. Oh, kulang sa question, sobra ka passage, false pa rin yan. Nakuha. Okay? 37.4 daw kapag may lagnat. Sabi sa passage, 37.5. So, wala akong kinalaman yung kulang na entity dito. Dahil itong 37.4 is not 37.5, kaya siya false. Hindi po yan papasok dun sa sobra kulang natin na mantra. So, ang sinasabi nating sobra kulang is yung entity. Yung piraso, yung pieces. Malinaw? Okay. Now, yun naman po ang opposite ng not given. Paano sir pag nagkabaliktad yung sitwasyon? Sumobra kay question, kinulang naman dito kay passage. Oh. 4 pieces of information versus 3 pieces of information. What are you going to do first? Ano unang gagawin? Remove true from the equation. This is now going to be a battle between not given and false. O sir, bakit not given yan at hindi false? Yun yung tanong eh. Tingnan nyo to ha. Year level. Year level is mentioned where? In the question. Year level is not mentioned where? In the passage. It's not present here. It is not provided here. It is not mentioned here. It is not given. Tagalog. Sobra. Question. Kulang. Passage. Not given. Malinaw? Okay. Sir, sabi mo sobra. 37.6 daw yung may lagnat. Tapos 37.5 lang dito. False pa rin to. Bakit? Ang sinasabi nating sobra, yung entity na minimension. Hindi yung figure. Nagkakaintindihan? So, hindi po to case ng not given. So, si not given, hindi nabanggit. Hindi nabanggit si year level sa passage, kaya siya not given. Or, yung mas mahirap na version ng not given is hindi binanggit unabes. There is no mention of it at all. So, gaano nakaka-bad trip yun, guys? Ano? Hanap ka ng hanap sa puking inang wala naman pala doon. Naubos mo na yung buong passage, nahilo ka ng kakahanap, hindi mo pa rin makita, not given lang pala ang sagot. Kaya po nakakalito yan, nakakaubos ng oras si not given because we may not know whether dapat naman ako mag-give up kakahanap sa kanya, baka wala naman talaga siya doon. Clear? Okay, si not given po ang pinakamahirap sa kanila. So ulitin ko ha, Caroline, Franz, Kathleen, Mark Anthony, and Ryan, if you will not be able to respond to my question 3 times, I will kick you sa Zoom meeting. Ganun din kayong nasa branch. No? So here's my first question. Question, the lab card shows the student's name, course, and number. Sabi sa passage, the lab card does not show the student's name, course, number, and year 11. What's it gonna be? Is it going to be true, false, or not given? Teka. Okay, Zoomies, prepare your answers. Branch, what's your answer? False? False. Sabi sa branch, false daw. What about sa Zoom? Sabi ni Caroline, false. Si Caroline lang ba si Janty ko? Sabi ni Ryan, false. Sabi ni Mark, not given. Sabi ni Kathleen, false. Sabi ni Franz, false. Okay. The answer is false. Actually, double false to. Kahit parehas show yan, sige, tanggalin natin tong isang show. Kahit parehas pong show, the lab card show, sige ha, the lab card shows. Parehas siyang the lab card shows. Bakit false pa rin? Kasi, name, course, number, year level. Kaya siya false. Dual false. Correct? Next, there are subversive elements in children's literature, as stated in the question. Whereas in the passage it says, adults often fail to recognize the subversive elements in books their children read. Unahin naman natin si Zoom. So it's either true, false, not given. There are subversive elements in children's literature. In the passage, adults often fail to recognize the subversive elements in books their children read. I'll give you 30 seconds, Zoom. Key in your answer. Only 30 seconds. Okay, nasa na po yung mga sagot ng Zoom? Zoomies. True daw, sabi nila. Pabor ba kayo doon? Branch? True? Not given? Okay, may nag-isang not given. Bakit not given? Okay, the answer is not given. And not true. Bakit? Ha? Books, children's literature, parehas yan. Saan mo na kayo not given? Fail? If you understand the context here, no, para lang maipaintindi ko bakit not given, no, there are subversive elements in children's literature, which means it generalizes that all children's literature contains subversive elements. Whatever subversive element means. Again, in this context, let us try to include this connotation that the word subversive is something that we don't know yet. Okay? Halimbawa, hindi ko alam ano yung subversive. And both subversive elements were mentioned both in the question and the passage. So how can you assume not given? Natandaan mo ba ito sa huli kong klase? Ayokong minememorize nyo yung mga sagot sa nakaraang klase. Ang gusto kong mangyari, masagot nyo to dahil alam nyo yung sagot. Okay? So, bakit not given? It's because this is overgeneralizing. Parang sinabi mo na lahat ng lalaki manluloko dahil niloko ka ng ex mo last time. And in the passage, it says, adults often fail to recognize the subversive elements in books their children read, but it didn't specifically mention that these subversive elements exist in all the books. That is why it's not given. It's a very long explanation. Example, the ISTP study examined in public and private systems in every city of the world. Example to ha. Ganitong kalaki ang passage. Ganyan kakapal yan. Okay, ganyan siyang kakapal. And this is the paragraph where you're going to extract your answer from. The ISTP study examined public and private systems in every city of the world. A new study conducted in the World Bank by Murdoch University's Institute for Science and Technology, or ISTP, that is what it stands for, has demonstrated that public transport is more efficient than cars. The study compared the proportion of wealth poured into transport by 37 cities around the world. This included both the public and private costs of building, maintaining, and using a transport system. True, false, or not given? Branch. False ikaw. False. What about Zooms? Zoomies. Caroline, Franz, Kathleen, Mark, and Ryan. Payag ba kayo sa false? Sabi ni Franz, true. Si Franz lang ba yung estudyante ko? Sana iba? Uy, gusto ko. Iba-iba sila ng sagot. Sabi ni Franz, true. Sabi ni Kathleen, false. Sabi ni Mark, not given. Sabi ni Ryan, true. Sabi ni Caroline, not given. Yan, gusto ko. Hiwa-hiwala yung sagot. May away-away. May hindi pagkakaintindihan. So here's the thing. Let's extract the most important keyword. Every city. Okay? And this one, 37 cities. So, in all hindsight, na-mention yung context, na-mention yung summary, na-mention yung idea. So, we remove not given. But, this is a battle na between true and false. No? So, every city, upon checking, nasa more than 100K ang bilang ng lahat ng syudad sa buong mundo. So, 100,000 yan. Dito nga lang, ilan ang city sa Nueva Ecija? Palayan, San Jose, Gapan, Cabanatuan. 4 lang yan, ha? Santa Rosa, di ba naman city yan? So, 4. Sa Bulacan, napakadami na city dyan. So, hindi siya all the cities. 37 lang. Kaya ang sagot po natin dyan ay false. Okay? Zoomies? So, yun po yung keywording na tinatawag. Now, efficient cities can improve the quality of life for their inhabitants. Efficient cities can improve the quality of life for their inhabitants. Sabi sa question. Sabi sa passage, Professor Peter Newman, ISTP Director, pointed out that these more efficient cities were able to put the difference into attracting industry and jobs or creating a better place to live. Unahin natin ang Zoom. Zoomies, anong sagot niyo? Sabi ni Caroline, true. Sabi ni Franz, true. Sabi ni Mark, true. Kathleen, true. Sino lang hindi pa sumasagot? Si Ryan, true din. Kayo, sa branch. Pahig ba kayong true ito? Not given. So, gagawin natin dito, we skip. Okay? An inner city tram network is dangerous for car drivers. An inner city tram network is dangerous for car drivers. Skip. Wait lang. Hindi tayo pwede mag-double skip. Okay. These efficient cities can improve the quality of life for their inhabitants. That says, attracting industry and jobs or creating a better place to live. The answer here is true. Okay? Whereas this one, wala tayong sagot. Makinig kayo ha. We skip. So, pakita ko lang, why are we going to skip this part? Pakita ko lang ha. Okay? Yung question 1 ko kanina, question number 1, yung 37 cities, nandito siya sa paragraph na to. Clear? Question 1. Then, yung question 2, nandito. Now, yung question 4, yung last question ko mamaya, nandito. So, yung inner city tram network na in-skip natin, kasi hindi natin mahanap yung answer niya from here to here. Hindi natin mahanap eh. Sabi mo, teka lang. Kung may 40 items ka sa question at meron kang 60 minutes para sagutan yan, baliktad. May 40 items ka, may 60 minutes ka to answer. You have roughly 1 minute 30 seconds to answer. Kanina ka pa basa ng basa para sa question 3, yung an inner city tram network is dangerous for car drivers. Kanina ka pa pabalik-balik dyan. Hindi mo mahanap yung sagot. So sabi mo, okay, let's keep it for now. Okay? Now, you understand that question 1 is here sa paragraph 1. Question 2 is here sa paragraph 2. Question 4 is at paragraph 4. Meaning, an inner city tram network is dangerous for car drivers. Ang place kung saan mo hahanapin yung answer dyan is between paragraph 2 and 4 lang. Hindi ka lalagpas sa 1, hindi ka lalagpas sa 4, hindi ka pupunta sa paragraph 5. Bakit? Dahil your answers are chronological order. Okay? Dalawa po kasi yung klase ng true, false, not given natin. Yung the one appearing randomly, which is mas mahirap kasi kailangan mo maghanap from the first word of the first sentence of the first paragraph to the last. From start to finish mo siya hahanapin. Whereas this, ginaguide ka na, oy, kita mo yung question 1 ko nasa first paragraph, yung question 2 ko nasa second paragraph yung answer. Hindi mo mahanap yung sagot sa question 3, kaya mo siya in-skip. Then, yung question 4, nasa paragraph 4. Ibig sabihin nun, tinutulungan ka ng exam, hindi ka na dapat lumagpas sa paragraph 5 dahil hindi mo naman din makikita yung sagot doon. Dahil ang ibig sabihin, kaya hindi mo siya makita dito, ay not given siya. Kuha? Ulitin ko lang ha. Isa po itong magandang technique. Lalo pag kanina ka pa paikot-ikot. Nakita mo yung answer mo sa question 1, nandito. Yung answer mo sa question 2, nandito. Yung 3, hindi mo makita. Yung 4, andito. So, ang ginawa mo, bumalik ka sa pagitan ng 2 and 4, hindi mo pa rin mag-gets, ala kong makita nga, inner city tram network is dangerous for drivers. Ala kong makita talaga eh. Large tram network. Wala siyang sinabi na dangerous siya eh. Diba? So, dahil wala siyang sinabi, wala siyang nabanggit, anong sagot? Not given. People ha, applicable lang to sa chronological order. Yung technique na to. Hindi to pwedeng gamitin sa random. Na yung question 1, nasa paragraph 7 yung sagot. Tingnan nyo ha. Yung question 1 nasa paragraph 7. Yung question 2 nasa paragraph 4. Yan, hindi mo siya makikita doon. Hindi mo ma-apply itong technique na to doon. Clear? Next. In Melbourne, people prefer to live in the outer suburbs. Hinighlight ko na po yan. The explosion in demand for accommodation in the inner suburbs of Melbourne suggests a recent change in many people's preferences as to where they live. Anong sagot? Branch. In Melbourne, people prefer to live in the outer suburbs. Dito naman, the explosion in demand for accommodation in the inner suburbs of Melbourne suggests a recent change in many people's preferences as to where they live. False? False then? What about Zoomies? Not given si Mark. False si Ryan. Not given si Franz. False si Kathleen, false si Caroline. The answer is false. Simple lang, inner suburb, outer suburb. Cities with high levels of bicycle usage can be efficient even when public transport is only averagely good. Sabi sa passage, bicycle use was not included in the study, but Newman noted that the two most bicycle-friendly cities considered Amsterdam and Copenhagen were very efficient even though their public transport systems were reasonable but not special. So, mauuna pong sumagot dyan ang Zoom. Okay, Zoomies, kompleto na? Not given si Franz and Mark. False si Ryan. True si Kathleen. What about Branch? Not given and true. True si ma'am, not given si sir. Hiwa-hiwalay ah. May false. Dalawang false. Tingnan natin. Dalawa yung okay. Isa lang yung nag-false si Ryan. Tatlo na yung not given. Tapos tatlong true. Okay, so hiwa-hiwalay nga. So, tingnan niyo yung context ha. Cities with high levels of bicycle use. Ito siya. Bicycle friendly. Si Amsterdam at si Copenhagen. Were very efficient. Can be efficient. Even though their public transport is averagely good or reasonable but not special. Kaya ang sagot natin dyan ay true. Kasi in-echo lang siya word for word. Parehas lang yung content. Pasan na natin ito. Ito, maganda to. A species is said to be extinct when only one individual exists. Ito po yung question. At ito naman yung passage sa baba. Pagbalik ko, may sagot na kayo ha, okay? Sagot nyo. Ha? False? False din? Sabi nung nasa Zoom? Uy! Puro false. Okay. Tama kayo. Bakit siya false? Simple lang to ha. Ito lang po yung paliwanag dyan. Sabi sa question 1, Sabi sa passage, 0. 1 isn't 0. Kaya ang sagot natin dyan ay false. Ganun kasimple. May natitira pa daw na isa. Sabi naman dito, pag ubus na talaga, extinct na. Okay. Next question. Ano? Siya. Ano? Sagot! Not given ka. Not given. What about this one? Sino mga nasa Zoom? Not given si Ryan, si Kathleen. Not given si Caroline at si Mark. Sabi ni Franz, true. Okay? Sagot natin dyan ay not given. Wala ka pong makikita dyan na extinction is naturally occurring. Na nangyayari siya talaga naturally. Walang na-mention eh. Kaya not given. Ito po ay sample ng GT. Sino mga GT? Mga akad kayo? Ako, hirap ng exam niyo. Sino mga GT na nasa Zoom? Kasi lahat pala ng nandito, akad eh. Caroline, Franz, Kathleen, Mark, Ryan, sino sa inyo ang GT? Sabi ni Franz, siya daw, si Mark, okay, si Ryan, siya din daw. So si Caroline at saka si Kathleen ay mga akad. So 4 ang akad, 3 ang GT natin ha. Okay. So ito po ay GT level. Ibig sabihin, mga akad, mas kinakailangan kayong mas magaling sumagot dito kasi nga, ang level na to ay medyo mas madali, no? Tone down ang difficulty. So, ito po yung sample na makikita nyo yung passage. Ayun na, inano ko na siya. Pinagdikit na para mas madali nyo na makita. Sabi sa question, the club has long-term dormitory accommodation. Makikita mo ba ang long-term dormitory accommodation dyan? Kita niyo ba? Kung oo, may nakita ka, syempre hindi not given ang sagot. Ganun lang kasimple. Ngayon, kung hindi mo talaga siya makita, not given ang sagot. Ganun lang siyang kasimple. Okay, anong answer? True. Ikaw? True din. False. Yun ang gusto ko. Talaga naglalaban, ano? May sagot po tayo dito, isang true tsaka isang false. Dito naman, puro true. Ang sagot, si Franz, nag-false din si Franz, okay? Ang sagot natin dyan ay true. The text under the accommodation heading reveals that the International Students House, which is a club, offers multi-bedded room. Nakalagay dyan, it also mentions that long and short stays are welcome, which means it offers long-term accommodation. Kaya ang sagot po natin ay true. Membership must be renewed monthly. Membership must be renewed monthly. So, unahin natin yung mga Zoom. Kayo maunang sumagot. Mga Zoomies, type in your answers now. Okay, kumpleto na. Ano sagot niya? False silang lahat? Not given si ma'am? False si sir. So may isa lang pong not given. Tatanungin natin, ma'am, bakit po not given?
Sir, kasi sabi, nasa my question, renewed monthly.
Okay.
Tapos meron po dun sa passage na 1 month up to 1 year.
Oh, and then na-mention siya, hindi siya not given. Okay. Simplihan natin. Ang sabi sa question, dapat daw monthly ang renewal. So kung sinabi mo, sir, hindi ko nakita yung renewal monthly, pagpapasang not given yon. Kung yun yung sinabi mo. But in this case, the answer is false. Bakit? You can join for as little as 1 month for up to 1 year at a time. Ibig sabihin, pwede ako magbayad ng pang isang buwan, pwede ako magbayad ng pang isang taon. O pwedeng quarterly. Again, hindi nakalagay dyan yon. But you understand the case na hindi siya buwanan. Dahil may available na 1 month, may available na pang 1 year payment. Okay. Kaya siya false. Next. The club provided subsidized restaurant meals. So, unahin ko naman si Branch. Meron kayong 1 minuto para sagutin niya. Okay, Branchies, what's your answer?
False.
False. What about you? False din. Ay, true na lang daw. Okay. So, isang false, isang true. Talaga nagkokontrahan kayo kanina pa. What about the Zoom? Okay, sabi ni Franz, not given. Sabi ni Mark, true. Sabi ni Ryan, not given. Wala pang sagot si Caroline at saka si Kathleen. Isang hindi nyo pa pagsagot, ikikip ko na kayo sa Zoom, okay? Kaya magsisagot kayo, ha? So, ano ang answer? Ano yung sabihin ng subsidized?
Sir, siya ba yung parang halimbawa kasama sa package natin gano'n?
It's free. So, pag sinabi ng government subsidized program, pwede nyo magamit sa writing yun. Ibig sabihin, free. Okay? Pinondohan ng gobyerno. So, basahin ko. Club membership is open to all full-time students, professional trainees, student nurses, and au pairs. Membership costs are kept to an absolute minimum to enable the widest possible access. You can join for as little as 1 month, for up to 1 year at a time. Membership entitles you to use the various facilities. Ito na. Restaurant, bars, coffee shops, study room, clubs, societies, aerobics, fitness, disco, dance, jazz, cinema, travel, and much more. Dami naman daming ino-offer nung kanilang dormitory. Pero nabanggit ba dyan na free ang meals? Nabanggit ba? Na libre? Putya, nalugi na yung dorm mo noon kung libre lahat ng pagkain nyo. Tama ba? Kaya not given po ang sagot. Because it was not mentioned that meals are free. May restaurant na banggit, pero hindi sinagot yung meals. Tama ba? So, hindi siya nakita eh. Because you cannot see it, you did not see it, it was not mentioned, it isn't there, technically, it's not given. Ganun lang kasimple. The club is open to non-members on Tuesday evenings. Napakadali niya eh. Tuesday evening, punta ka, okay, true ang sagot. Question. Johnson has become more well-known since his death. Okay. Anong sagot, Zoomies? Wala pa ulit sagot si Kathleen at saka si Caroline. O, sumagot na si Caroline. Si Kathleen, wala pang sagot. Isa na lang, makikik na si Kathleen. So, sabi ni Caroline, true. Sabi ni Ryan at ni Franz, false. Sabi ni Mark, false. Calling, Kathleen, John Louie. Uy, may bago tayong member. Kaya pala wala si Kathleen. Si John Louie na pala yung pumalit. Okay. Ano siya? Gender change. Okay. False. Ang nagsagot lang ng iba is si Caroline, which is true. Not given naman si Mark. What about you guys? Not given? Not given, okay. Ang claim kasi ng question, si Johnson daw, kumbaga, etika si kata niya sa line graph. Ayan, buhay pa siya. Nung namatay siya, mas sumikat daw siya. Tama? Yun ang sabi. Sabi naman dito, as famous in his own time as in ours. So kung may 50 na fan si Johnson, may 50 na fan siya ngayon. Noon at ngayon. So ito naman yung curve na kiniklaim ng passage. At ito po ay false. Okay? So the answer is false. Johnson has been planning to write a dictionary for several years. Kahit anong hanap mo dyan, di mo siya makikita. The answer is not given. Johnson set up an academy to help with the writing of his dictionary. So i-isolate ko yung sagot para makita nyo mas madali. Yung pula lang po ang babasahin. Yan lang. Nandyan po yung sagot. Bigyan ko kayo ng 30 seconds. What's your answer? True? False? Paano yung mga nasa Zoom? Anong sagot nyo? False si Mark, false si Caroline, false si John Louie, false si Ryan. Di ka ba magpapalit ng sagot? Napapaligyan ka na namin. False kaming lahat. False. Bakit false? Kasi? Sabi kasi dito ay nag-set up daw siya ng academy. Sabi dito, without the establishment at did not need an academy. So with academy, without academy, anong sagot? False. Ano? Say true doon. So false po ang sagot. Dagdagan pa natin. The number one cause of car accidents is fatigue. Sabi sa question, the number one cause of car accidents is fatigue. Po yung question, ito naman po yung passage. So again ha, kaya po medyo madali ang inyong pagsagot kasi ina-isolate ko na yung tanong, nakikita nyo na siya agad, imbes na hanapin nyo pa siya sa pagkahaba-habang passage. Pero sa exam, yun talaga ang goal mo, ikaw maghahanap niya. Okay, sagot niya. Ikaw muna. False. Okay. Ano na? False, false. Ikaw, ma'am. True. Okay. Sabi sa Zoom, false. Puro false. Napapalibutan ka na naman namin. So, papaliwanag ko lang. Actually, this is wordplay. Ibig sabihin, malilito ka ng slide, pero wag kang magpapalito doon. Ang nakalagay kasi dyan, the number one cause is fatigue. O sabihin na natin, yung fatigue at sleepiness ay iisa. Kasi parehas lang naman yun eh. Na? Pagkaantok, pagkapagod. So, sabi sa question, sleepiness or fatigue yung number one. Tama ba? Ganyan lang po tayo sumagot. Sabi sa passage, sleepiness is a leading cause. Nangunguna. Second only to drunkenness. Ang sabi ni passage, number one, drunk. Number two, fatigue. So, hindi yan true. Kasi ang claim ng question, number one, si fatigue. Ang claim ng passage, number two, si fatigue. And because of that, the answer is false. Yung mga ganyan, wala po siya, nakakatakot naman niya, may mga mundo na, no? So, huwag kayong matakot. Unang-una, ano bang hinahanap na question, no? So, number one, km. Ibig sabihin, ang hinahanap lang dito ay distance. Between this to this. Tama ba? Okay. And this time around, sa number 2, may hinahanap na naman na distance from this to this. Ganun lang. Oh. Pumunta ka sa passage. Nakita mo, uy, meron lang ditong dalawa na may km. Ayun, no? Isang 10,000 at isang 10. Tama-tama, dalawang hinahanap ko. So, basahin mo. The distance from the equator to the pole is 10,000 kilometers. So, yung number 1, ang sagot natin dyan ay 10 followed by 3 zeros. Hindi mo na kailangang isupply yung km since it has already been provided. Sa 2, ceiling height, beginning ng stratosphere is 10 kilometers naman daw. So, ang sagot natin sa 1 ay 10,000. Lagyan mo ng comma o hindi, walang problema. Ay, by the way, meron pala tayong instances na hindi ka maglalagay ng comma. No? Especially when you are nakalagay, write no more than 2, write no more than 1 word. Kasi pag nagbigay ka ng space yan or comma, mako-consider yan as a unit. No? So, huwag mo nang lagyan ng comma in those cases. At di mo na ilalagay si km kasi nga, it is already been supplied. So, magiging redundant siya, magiging grammar error siya. Now, the air, therefore, splits up into several smaller loops or convection cells. Nahahati daw yung hangin sa mas maliliit na ikot. Ang tawag daw doon ay convection cells. Between the equator and each pole, there are 3 such cells. May 3 daw noon, between the equator and pole. So, 1, 2, 3. So, anong tawag natin doon? Convection cells. Ganun lang po ang pagsagot. So, huwag kayong may intimidate sa mga ganyan kasi madali lang sagutan yan. Mas mahirap pa rin po ang true, false, not given at matching headings to paragraphs. Ito guys, yung last part ng ating discussion. Gusto ko lang ipakita sa inyo to ha. Yung item 1, nakita natin yung answer sa paragraph 3. Lilista ko ha. So 1, paragraph 3. Yes. Again ha, pakita ko lang. Yung 2, there are no physical difference between asteroid and comet. Sabi, bungad na bungad. Asteroids are rockier than comets. Mas matigas daw. So, may physical difference siya. So, ang sagot mo dyan ay no or false. Paragraph 4 naman, ang ating item 2. Ang sagot na natin dito naman ay no. Tapos, sa 3, the observation of shoemaker Levi was an immensely expensive undertaking. Hindi mo mahanap? Wala ka munang sagot? So, anong gagawin? Skip. Tama ho? Okay. Once again, kunwari wala ka munang sagot, nag-skip ka. Then, sa item 4, ang answer mo sa item 4 ay nasa paragraph 5. Ang sagot mo naman doon ay no. So ano pong ibig sabihin na to? Isa na naman po itong case ng answers appearing in order. Kasi yung answer mo sa 1 nasa paragraph 3. Yung answer mo sa 2 nasa paragraph 4. Sa 3 nag-skip ka kasi nahihirapan ka mahanap siya. So pero si answer mo sa number 4 is nasa paragraph 5. Ngayon, yung number 3 na in-skip mo, hahanapin mo siya between paragraph 4 and paragraph 5. Ibig sabihin, hindi mo na kailangan lumagpas dyan. And if it so happened na hindi mo makita between 4 and 5 yung sagot, this is the time, pwede ka na mag-give up, sabihin mo, okay, since I cannot see the any mention of it whatsoever, this is now a case of not given. So, mas safe ngayon ang pagsagot mo ng not given in this case. Kuha? Yan. So, that is how you're expected to take and finish the test. Once again, people, do not be discouraged early on like you have only been doing mock examinations for first 2 times. Nakakaisa, 2 beses ka pa lang at nadidiscourage ka kasi nakaka-4, nakaka-5 ka lang. Don't worry, sabi ko nga, may estudyante ko, 4 lang siya nung umpisa. After 2 months ng preparation, naka-perfect siya sa exam. Sir, yung po bang mga mock exam nyo, how are you going to ensure its difficulty is on par with the actual test? Actually, bigyan ko kayo ng surprise ha. 9.09er, meron kasi kaming insider. Okay, meron kaming insider sa British Council. Madaya kami. Siyempre, lahat ng pabor para sa inyo, bibigay namin. So, yung po mga tinitake nyo ng exam sa mock exam, ay mga dating exam. So, you are ensured na pag kayo po ay nag-practice sa mock at nakakuha ka ng 6, malamang sa actual exam, yun din ang lalabas na resulta since pareha sila ng difficulty level. So, what we're trying to build here is experience. Gusto natin ma-experience mo, pag ganito pala ang sitwasyon, dapat pala false ang maging sagot ko. Pag ganito pala ang sitwasyon, this is the case where I will consider true. So you need to build this foundation. Kaya nga, reading, skills enhancement, kung wala kang skills, hopefully, may na-acquire ka 1 or 2 skills today, and you have to enhance it through practice. Again, meron po tayong paraan para makapag-practice ka ng mock nang hindi pumupunta dito. Pero sinasuggest pa rin namin na pumunta ka dito, lalo na kung dito ka mag-i-exam, dahil iba pa rin ang feeling na magdadrive ka ng Ford Raptor, na Raptor mismo ang papracticean mo. At hindi iyon. Pero wala tayong choice. Kung yun talaga, hindi ka makakapunta, meron tayong estudyante taga Bulacan, may estudyante tayong taga Isabela, magkano ang pamasahe, magkano ang biyahe doon, ilang oras. Pag mabiyahe ko pa Isabela, inaabot kami ng 10 hours to 12 hours, nilalagnat ako pa uwi sa sobrang tagal ng biyahe. Okay? So, pwede pong gawin yun sa bahay. Pero, I cannot promise that this will be the same kasi may tumitilaok na manok, may nagagrinder na kapitbahay, may nagagalit na nanay, no? So, pwedeng maging factors yun para hindi maging similar yung setup sa actual test. So, yun lang. May mga tanong pa po ba sila? Yes.
Halimbawa po, nakapag-skip po ako ng 2. Okay lang po.
Okay lang. Actually, nung nag-exam ako, by the way, reading kasi na perfect ko yan. Yung buong 1 to 5 items, matching headings to paragraph, in-skip ko yan. Sa 6 ako nagsimula. Binalikan ko yung matching headings to paragraph nung tapos na ako mag-take from 7 to 40. Pwede mag-skip. Ayoko talagang take muna itong passage 1. Doon ako sa 13 magsimula. Go. Walang problema. If you feel that your life will feel so much easier doing it that way, it's up to you. Na? Once again, practice pa rin talaga. Build a foundation, enhance your skills further. Okay? Yun lang. So, sa mga umattend ng Zoom, Caroline, Franz, John Louis, Mark, and Ryan, I'll be uploading. Lahat po nung nakita nyo kanina sa presentation ko, all 82 slides of it, ay upload ko po no, sa Facebook group, Messenger, plus Zoom, Discord. So, keep in touch. Pag may mga tanong, ask lang kayo. Bukas po ang topic natin. Ako ulit na magle-lecture. Kung di ako nagkakamali, matagal na tayo hindi nakapag-writing task 2. Writing task 2 po ang topic bukas. Okay? So, yun po, mas matagal po ang lecture nun. Dahil writing siya, mas madugo. Okay? Reading kasi, once again, maraming nahihirapan sa reading. Pero ako, minamaliit ko talaga reading yan kasi 40 ko. Madali para sa akin si reading. Maraming nahihirapan sa reading, pero pinakamahirap pa rin talaga si writing. So yung student natin, yung last, eto, kakapasa lang niya. 9, 8.5, 8 sa speaking, 7 sa writing. Yung isa, 9 listening, 9 reading, 7.5 speaking, 6 sa writing. So writing talaga ang pinakamahirap na part ng exam. So bukas, magsipasok kayo, hindi man kayo makapunta sa branch, which is once again, feel free to drop by here. Kung wala kayong pasok bukas, Sabado naman, alas 9, magsisimula ang lecture. May Zoom pa din, may replay pa din. Abangan nyo lang yung replay sa YouTube, sa Discord, sa Facebook. Okay? Alright, happy holidays everyone. Have a nice day. God bless and good luck on your test. Bye.